everyone, how are you doing, guys? Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. I don't know where you watch to us, but you are welcome here to learn about the project open source. And how are you doing, Max? How are you doing, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks, Gabriel, for having me today again in this journey. It's an amazing journey. We are discovering how to contribute to open source. So it's a very important opportunity if you want to get started to do it with us. Why not? Why we need to you need to do that thing alone? Don't do this alone. Do this together. So jumping in, jumping with us together, and let's do this
Together,
together.
it's more
Why not?
delicious.
Yeah. So look
And
at that. We got a special guy in the chat, Paulo Bocatelli. Hi.
hi, Paul. Good evening.
Welcome to this session. We did a little conversation before the session, guys, and Paulo has a amazing background about leadership and technical leadership, and probably he could help us with any kind of depth or or the questions that you got. And so feel free to send the questions about open source, about JNoSQL, about anything about developer software. And if we don't get the response by now, right now, we will find out someone that could help us because we're learning together. We are doing that thing because we want to share in order to learn too. So let's do this. And today, Gabriel, what we will do today?
Today we we realize a week review, and I love the
Oh,
wiki review because wiki
is it
review.
a record? Oh, I forgot the name of the live session. Look at that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no, no worries.
Oh, no worries. We can fix that later on. Okay, no worries.
No worries. And I will verify now, and I think it's sure. Yes,
Yeah,
contribution to
no worries, no
JNoSQL.
worries. When we are sharing experience, we are contributing to, because sometimes we just think that, oh, if I don't contribute with code or with any kind of that, we are not contributing to open source. But it's a wrong way to think about, because if you are sharing a talking about any kind of open source project, you are doing as contribution, because with through your talk you are creating awareness around the project. It will help to product to grow up. So don't underestimate this kind of movement. So if you are talking about open source, you are contributing as well. So let's do this. And today, let's talk about the contribution that we did in last week. Am I right?
You're right. And last week we have a great challenger and great difficulties with one project, with one contribution. But we start to more easily things. You can share your screen, Max. I think you have a project open because before
Yeah,
the
yeah,
live, I remember
yeah.
you told me.
I will do that. I will do that. So hold on. Let me share. Okay, hold on. Oh God. Oh, here it is.
Oh,
That's it.
perfect.
Okay. So last week we did some contributions. Actually, we did a one little contribution uh, under a specific issue, because the project JNoSQL was refactored in order to help contributors to just use one only dependence instead of to declare two kind of dependence inside of the POM. So it was very interesting change, because with minimal effort, we could use JNoSQL. Why not to do that? So Otavio opened an issue about that, and we are contributing through little contributions in order to close this one. So let me open this issue and let me show up to this guy, to this one. So as you know, guys, if you take a look on this window, you see a lot of issues by now. But it's very interesting because we got some contributions, especially from Elias Nogueira. Elias Nogueira is a
Yes,
specialist in test
Elias Nogueira,
development.
it's an amazing guy. It's have a lot
Yeah,
of recognitions in the community. And
yeah,
Max today told me, "Oh, Gabriel, we have contributions. Elias Nogueira contribution, JNoSQL. Really? The man
yeah.
started contribution. I am feeling so happy with this because Elias Nogueira have a good videos in YouTube. Elias Nogueira helped me a lot in moments like, oh, I am very, how can I say, I'm very lost into giving talks, and again, Elias Nogueira is giving help, and I am feeling very happy with this news.
It was amazing because it is amazing. That's the reason why open source is a very amazing thing because we could learn from a specialist, and he did a lot of contributions down here. And if you scroll down, you figure out some information. For example, he's helping with some assertions that we used to put in our tests. And if you take a look, we can figure out that there are some discussions about improvement. That is, we could improve the PRs, putting tests in the best way. So if you take a look on it, we can figure out the proposals and the amazing contributions. So we and if you take a look, there is no code by now. It's just a proposal, and probably it will bring ideas, insights, and it will become a good, amazing contribution in the future because as you can see, Otavio and Logias has discussion about some details about regarding PRs and something like that. So that's the interesting thing. When we are trying to use an open source project, we need to pay attention with the life cycle of the project. As we can see, JNoSQL is happening very quickly. So it's not a abandoned project. It's under development yet. So when we are decide to use a specific project, we need to pay attention to that because if we don't pay that on this situation, we could you could have problems, especially when some issues can arise to you when it happens, who you will asking for? If there's no contribution, probably maintainers are not interested to keeping the project working. But based on this information, we can recognize, we can be grateful that there is contributor on there that can help us. Okay, so
And
oh, hello,
hello,
channel.
Chino. How are you doing, man?
Hello, and you guys, you folks that is in the chat, so send us messages saying where are you from, where did you realize about this live sessions. It's very interesting to see and to understand how the community are receiving our lives. Am I right, Gabriel?
You're
So
right. I'm feeling so glad if guys write us like, oh, it's so amazing.
Yes.
The
So
guys conversation, the audience conversation with us is a how can I say, it's a very amazing, very cool.
yeah, we always need to do some disclaimer because Gabriel and me, we are not expert on those things. We are learning together with you guys. So if you sometimes we can face something that we don't understand by now, and it is okay. The problem is to be stuck and okay, I don't know, and whatever. No, we will always try to find out the answer, and it make us bring opportunities to us to understand, to learn more things. So it's very interesting.
Yes,
It's a skill that we need to keep in our mind. That is keeping the mind open to learn new things. So let's keep it on. So this issue that we have contributed is related to this issue. So as I said in our beginning of this session, JNoSQL was changed a little bit about project structure. So before this change, users have been used imported two dependence two dependencies on a pawn. So after the changes of after on a big refactoring, uh, clients just need to declare one only dependence, and it's really good. It's really good. But an open source project doesn't work alone. It's the same for JNoSQL. Otavio have been created some sample codes that help us to understand how to use JNoSQL. And those sample codes also needs to be updated, and that's the task that we are doing through these years. Okay, so okay. Oh, Gilson Nascimento say something on the chat. Hey, Gilson. Oh, hi. It's my first time here, and so I'm sorry for link what I'm here. Um.
hearing.
Oh, I didn't get what I'm saying. Gilton, but feel free to send me another message. Okay, we will be glad to helping you about that. Okay, but thanks for being here. And okay, so we have been working on those updated. So if we scroll down, we can see some PRs merged already on the project. So we have migrated some models because those projects are multi-model Maven projects. So we are able to contribute model by model in order to update those things. So we can do this step by step, as we used to do when we are work with TDD approach. So we used to work step by step. So we can do this already. We can do this on this way. So and you can do this as well. So we have been migrated the Redis model to the new database Redis implementation of JNoSQL. So we
Yes,
have
this
did it.
point very cool. And the last session we have a great troubles with this project because this project not built in the GitHub CLI.
Yeah,
And we finished this live with a little, how can I say, little bug in the back there here.
yeah, yeah. It's
But
very interesting because we can understand how those things work. Well, when we are work with a CI process, especially using GitHub Actions to do that,
yes,
under the hook, GitHub Actions ramp up a container, check out your code, build the project, following the codes in your descriptor, and based on these results, DPR, we could be recognized that okay, everything will be in a good shape when this one is will be merged. Um, and what's happened was just CIC, the GitHub Actions failed because Maven cannot download some dependencies, and it bring us frustration on the time because we have been trying to understand what's happening, what's happening on there, and because well we are doing those things locally before to push up to repository. We used to do that, and we didn't face this problem in our local machine. It's very interesting. It's worked in our my local machine, but it's very interesting. And well, I think it was a momentary unstable situation on the time, because when I just ignored those informations, everything worked fine. So it's very interesting to see that. And based on this, just we just can get waiting for Otavio approval. So it's done. It was changed. So if you are interested to see what files was changed, it was changed. So we could remove the above repositories in order to use one only one. So
Good
hello,
evening,
Bruno
Bruno.
Paul. Good evening. Have a good night, man. Thanks for being here. And that's it. So you could also figure out what's changed on the code, and we can figure out what what have been done, and based on that, we can learn from the samples, and we can learn how can we use Maven on this right way, because I learned a lot on this process, and I think that you can learn as well. That's okay. So this is the main issue that we have been working. Am I right, Gabriel? That is another
You're
one.
right.
Do you think that I missed something?
No, do you missing?
No, no,
Do
I
you
didn't.
not missing?
Okay. Okay, so guys, what I'd like to show you is the
Oh,
this
I think you're missing one thing. You say only the Redis, right? You don't say the MongoDB. It's another.
oh, sorry, yeah.
And
Yeah, you're
I
right, you're
remember
right,
now, like
you're
the
right.
MongoDB we working the last Monday. Uh, I don't remember.
Yeah, I think you're right, you're right.
And I have
Well,
a commentaries about this. I don't remember.
let's
It have
open
troubles.
let's open and see. Well, looks like there is no issue, there is no
Don't have
comments,
problems.
interesting comments on there, because probably what I did was it was expected. So if you can figure out what's changed, so we did some contributions on the documentation. It's very important. So if you want to get started to contribute to open source, I recommend you to pay attention to documentation. Documentation is very important piece in a open source project, and it is a piece that most of developers don't want to work on, unfortunately. Because why I need to write documentation, you know what I mean. So
I know.
the most developers wants to contribute with code instead of to work with documentation. So probably there are many opportunities to get started to contribute with by documentation. So when you figure out some typo or something like that, why not to contribute? So you could fork the project, work, fix the thing, and push up the PR, open the PR, and it probably the maintainers will be glad because many people don't want to work with documentation. So, but it's very, very, very important, especially for developer advocates or developer evangelists or anyone that wants to promote an open source project. It's very important because without a good documentation, um, developers cannot be um, confident to work with the projects. You understand? So, well, how can I work with that? There is no information. It doesn't work for me. You understand?
Yes, I
It's
understand you.
very important thing.
Important.
So if you want to get started to contribute, I
Start.
recommend you pay attention to documentation. Okay.
Documentation is
Um,
very important in anything. Is like to run the project. Like if you don't have a documentation, it's a I have a great probability I don't running this project in my machine because I never use in one example Open API. And I my first contact with Open API is here in the no Open API. I micro profile.
oh, micro profile. Okay.
My
No
first
worry.
contact
No worry.
with my micro profile is here. And if you don't have a documentation about micro profile or how running the project, uh, probably I search in the internet to verify and how running this project is. It's a very far, like 0%.
Yeah, because without documentation, how can we understand how that thing works? We can.
Yeah,
Who will be responsible for answer question to us? It's very
yes,
hard
and
to
documentation it's have information very easily.
yeah,
Like you
yeah,
don't need the running and back in the formation.
yeah. And we can also recognize that some changes happened on upon file, so we can figure out that we put a specific version, a specific dependency because this one holds everything that we need to work with JNoSQL and MongoDB. So it's very interesting. And we also have been changing some imports, fix some imports. So we have been doing this as we can see. So if you want to figure out how that thing works, feel free to reach out this project. This project is very interesting one because there are many sample codes that you can figure out how to work with a specific NoSQL database. And we know that there are some kind of NoSQL database value, column, key value type, column type, document type, graph type. So there are many kind of NoSQL database, and NoSQL got this proposal to 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 provide a specific specification, a good specification to work with many kind of NoSQL projects. So if you understand how to work with a specific NoSQL, and if you take a look on that, oh, there is missing something, why not to contribute with that? Am I right? So if you want to contribute with that, we could go back to the NoSQL repository, and be able to, okay, you will be able to open an issue looking there, and we could you could ask to propose a new support, new database support. So you could follow those ones. So if you want to, okay, there is no microstream database support, but I know how to do this, and I'd like that JNoSQL be able to support it. So why not to do that? I can open an issue right here and type and then fill the fields because it will bring amazing information to the maintainers of the project, and the maintainers will understand. Okay, oh yeah, it's very nice to support microstream. It looks like microstream's got a good support and good that there is a good features that will be amazing to provide to Java developers that are using JNoSQL. Why not to do that? And it's a good kind of opportunity to support. Okay, so
And
yeah,
they can say amazing.
yeah. So you could do this. It's all about open source. Open source about there is a little a little difference between free code or uh, free code and open source. Open source is more related to it's focused on engineering, software engineering, instead of to about the permissions that users can got with the code. So that's the reason why I like to pay attention with open source, because open source, most of the best developers around the world are working with open source. So we can learn with them, focus on a specific approach. Maybe, for example,
We have in the 5 minutes max.
oh, really? Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, we have more 5 minutes today.
Okay. But let me let's stop to speaking, and let me
Yes.
asking to the people on the chat, if you got question, please send us questions. We got 5 minutes to end up the session, so feel free to send us questions, please. And Gabriel, you got some questions about that. So you want to learn more something about that, or if you want to add some comments with that, feel free to do this.
No, no. This part, creating new issues support, it's a very amazing, in my opinion, because if you're working like, and how can I say, in your house, you can open the issue. You don't need enter contact with another persons. Like you can open and you can resolve. And I think have one case. I think you comment with me. You see the problem. You see you open the issue and resolve Sam. I am right.
Well, please repeat again for me, please.
No worries. I comment. I was talking about the things to open issues, and I created how can I say, I commented about your case. You open the you verify the problem, the code, open the issue, and resolve Sam, like resolve this issue. And I pay
Yeah.
attention about this
Oh, yeah, yeah,
because
it is. Yeah, it's amazing. So as Paulo Bocatelli said in the chat, it's the best way to improve your skills. Yes, because developer software is not about code only. You need to talk to the people. You need to talk to improve your communication skills. You need to talk to them in order to understand what you need to do, what I need to be done. You understand? We need to understand that it's very different than, oh, let's get started coding without to understand what kind of problem you are trying to solve. It's very interesting question that you how always think it of. So, we got a
we have
good
another
comment right here.
questions here.
Oh,
Oops. Go ahead. Click.
okay. So Deacon said that I've learned a lot of reading some open sources. That's the best way to improving code. Yes, it is.
That's the best way to improving in
Yeah,
code.
I I totally agree with you, Deacon. So you're right. It's the best way to do that. And of course, we need to learn from the code, but we always need to practice. You need to practice again and again and again in order to understand why that piece of code exists, why it was right on this way. Okay, it's a good way to to develop your critical thinking. So you need to pay attention to that. So because without this critical thinking, we cannot improve our career. When we are working in a specific project, we need to pay attention regarding the requirements of the project, because dependent on of the requirements, the approach will turn it off to another way. So you need to pay attention to that, because okay, I like to work with Spring, I like to work with Quarkus, I like to work with Micronaut, but if they don't help you to solve a problem, it's a it's there is nothing worth about that. Okay, you cannot solve the problem. Anyone will be happy to pay you, and probably you will be in problem. You got a trouble about that. So when we develop your critical thinking, we always need to ask why, how. First of all, why we need to do that, why I need to work with on this way, why I need to use this kind of tool, what's proper purpose about that. Based on those questions, we can decide what kind of tool we need to use. Oh, I mean, work with the web development on the browser side. Well, we will use Java on the browser side. No, on the browser side, we need to use JavaScript, TypeScript, because basically TypeScript will be translated to JavaScript. But we need to use the tool, right tool for the right problems. So based on the critical thinking, we can decide on that thing. Okay, why, when, you are. Yeah, that's it. Thinking you did the amazing contribution today, and I think it's done. Am I right, Gabriel?
Yes,
It's done for
it's
today.
done today.
Yeah, I don't know, guys.
Today it's
Let's give to them more 5 minutes. Send us more questions. Maybe we like to add more comments. It will help
yes.
anyone that watch this video, because they could take a look on the chat, and probably you will help anyone
Oh, and
that
I have
will.
a question, Max.
Sure.
My voice is cutting. I am a little freezing. My connection here, say, it's your connection is very bad.
Oh, on the time that I asked you to repeat again, your voice was cut, but by now it's okay. It's okay. That's the
Oh,
reason why I
perfect.
asked you. Okay. um. Okay, guys, and I think that's done for today. I hope that you have been joined with us. I know that today talking more than code is looks like, oh, it's not so exciting thing,
Technical.
but we always need to stop and think about we done in order to learn more things, in order to improve your tomorrow, the same. So we always need to think about that. So it's a good process, and we are doing those things together. And what I'd like to say, Gabriel, if this content is very important, or it's relevant to you, please share
Yes.
with your friends, share with you think that it's very worth. And yeah, sometimes it's happening.
Sometimes it happens.
Yeah, yeah. And feel free to send us a message on our Twitter handles right here, okay? And don't forget to subscribe this channel
This
and activate the
channel.
notify in order to be notified in our next sessions. So see you and next Wednesday. Am I right?
I see you guys next Wednesday in the same channel and the same and the same time and the Wednesday. Okay.
I thought that that you speak like a batch time, batch local, batch size, like a
Yes. Oh,
batsman.
okay. I return.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, guys. I
Have a
see you in the
good night.
bad time, bad channel, and the bad. Oh, I forgot another bet, but it's okay.
It's time to be done. Bye, guys. See you next time.
Bye, guys. Take care.